Hey guys, what's up? Roshi is here. Quick intro this time. The following video is going to include some tips and me going through a new player's experience, how they might go through, build a quick budget deck. We're using grenadines this time, and play through their first gauntlet. I go through my process of getting this deck built, which cards I dust. It's not an extensive overview, but hopefully I give some ideas on how to get started, on how to get your first bit of dust, what deck I used, and I show through the gameplay of what decisions I'm making against the bots and why I make them. Hopefully this is helpful to anyone who's new to the game. If you know anyone who's getting started, maybe this could be a good video for you to direct them to get them into Eternal. I know we had the big community session recently where we got a lot of new players in the game, so I'm hoping this will help them. Yeah, enjoy the video. Who we are, we're eyesore now. We're on the new account. I played through the starter campaign, got to the point where I could skip, and like we're sitting here on the account. I opened 3 packs. They were just given to me. When I started the game, I didn't do anything to get these. So I opened the packs already. I didn't disenchant the cards. We're going to do that next. And yeah, so we're on eyesore over here. And I started making a few decks. As you can see, I have no dust. I've got 700 shiftstone. We've got 940 gold. We've got 5 starter decks and a dream. So I haven't even done my first gauntlet yet, which gives us our first forge. So, you know, we're at the height of the struggle here, and that's okay because this is where new players start at, and I want to experience this pain for myself, and maybe it'll give some help to other people. So, you know, this is coming as an experienced player, so if I struggle through this, feel free to laugh at me. You know, maybe I am only good because I spent money on cards, and I'll accept that. So, yeah, so I've played through the campaign. Now it is time. We're like day 0 here. We did the campaign. We've got a gauntlet. So one of the first things, if you're a new player watching, like the first thing I want you to do is we're going to go to the Direwolf Digital website, and we're going to link our account with Twitch. And then you're going to only watch my stream. No, I'm just kidding. But then you're going to watch streamers, and it's going to give you free stuff. And free stuff is the best stuff. So I kind of recommend that. It doesn't need to be step 1, but I'll leave a link down below. Go to the Direwolf Digital website, log in, and then there'll be an option to link your account. And you're going to want to do that. So I can actually show it real quick. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Hide Eternal for a second here. Alright, so we're on the Direwolf Digital website. I'm going to click Login. I will log into my account. And then from here, I can Eternal account links. One more time because it didn't work the first time. So as you can see, my account is linked. So I've linked this account to a Twitch account, but let's go ahead and unlink. Well, you get the idea. If you go to this page, there'll be a big button that says link. You're going to click that button. It's going to pop up, and assuming you're logged into Twitch on the same browser or whatever, it's going to be like, here you go, do the thing. So I'll let you guys figure that out. But this is basically how you do it, and yeah, nice. Alright, let's go back to Eternal. And we're back. So now we'd have to, with our tiny collection, we're going to try and make our first deck to play through our first gauntlet. So I opened a few packs, and keep in mind, you don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I'm going to do it. In general, if you plan on playing this game for a while, you're probably better off not disenchanting stuff. But since for now, I just need dust, I'm going to go ahead and just be deleting stuff because I need dust and I need it. I'm going to call JG Wentworth because I need dust now. So we're going to go ahead and just be obliterating everything that's bad. So this is a stock account. I've opened the free packs that they just gave me. If you are new and just starting, I have a referral link you can use, and that'll give you a few free packs. But I don't even have that on this account. So this is starting from absolute zero. Feel free to start over and use my or anyone's referral link. There's links to it anywhere, but mine's down below. And let's just take a look. Trail Stories, this card's bad, so we're going to destroy it. Not doing much with that. No one uses it. Maybe you'll be the one to use it someday, but for now, we're going to get rid of it. We can craft it again later. Steel Fang Chakram, this is okay, but it's a little outdated, and this is like, we don't need this. So we're basically going to go through, and these are a lot of high-costed cards that we're not going to be able to really make use of. I recommend starting out with more aggressive strategies, just to get fast games, fast wins, and like, if you're going to lose, you just concede and move on. So we're just going to blow all these away. And I'm looking to get to like 4,000 dust here. So I'm going to keep Reliquary Raider. I just think it's cool, but we're going to be blowing away the rest of this stuff. Yeah, this can go. And we'll only basically be keeping stuff that people actually play. So Carnosaur, Reliquary Raider, Talir, these are all cards that people play in real decks. So we're going to keep these. What I have might be different than what you have, because we did open 3 packs. So Spire Chaplain's fine, Valkyrie Enforcer's fine, Auric Runehammer's decent, Silverwing Commander, not where we want to be at. So I'm going to blow this away. Zoltafoil, also not doing much here. Now these are all cards that are fine, but they're not really being used in any meta deck, and our goal here is to, I'm not saying play the meta, but what we want to do is just kind of, we're severely lacking in power right now, so good power fixing, we don't have any market cards. This is just a completely fresh account, so what we're going to want to do is kind of start zeroing in on what archetypes we want to focus on, and then we're going to go ahead and craft the good power cards for those archetypes, craft the good market cards. But for now, we just need a good little workhorse that lets us accomplish that. Something that'll let us get wins in the Gauntlet, get wins in like bronze and silver, and maybe even up to gold or diamond if you're a boss. And I kind of want to take us to that point. So these are all fine. We'll keep these. They have their niche. And I think you could probably dust these or not dust them at your own will. But I'm going to keep those just in case I want to play some Spicy Primal in the future on this account. Eileen can go. Eileen, more like I don't ween. Anyway, Falcion's fine. Ashara can go. It's been a long time since I've seen an Ashara played. And Lurking Sanguinar is actually okay. Vara's fine. And Copperhall Elite will actually keep. So we're at 8k already. And that's enough for me to build what I want to build. So one thing you'll notice while I'm going through this is off to the side, I've got all these cool did you know tips. I currently have no idea, or I currently know what all these are, but if you're a new player and you don't know, please click through, read these, it'll help you. Maybe in the future I'll go through and make a video on what each ability is, but for now, that's not the purpose of this video. We just want to get started. So we've got 8k dust. You don't have to do it the way I did. You can also just like hop into here, and they've got like these starter bundles, and you can you could just buy one of these bundles if you were into doing that, or like buy the starter kit or whatever. I suppose now is a good time to show you something else. I swear I don't work for Direwolf, but if you're looking to just like spend $3 and get ahead and just like get started and not have to disenchant anything and just save the disenchanting for later when you have a better understanding, we are gonna hop back to the monitor cam. Eternal, go away. And we are on the monitor. So I am on direwolfdigital.com. And from here, I want to click, once I'm logged in, I actually get access to the Direwolf Digital Store and the Eternal Store. So there's two things I want to show you. First off, we're going to go into the basic Direwolf Digital Store. And one of the cool things they do is if you buy their board game, you get access to some really cool digital content for the game. And it's almost value enough that if you buy the board game, you get enough equivalent, like if you had spent money on Eternal, you're gonna get that same amount of free content. I'm gonna be trying to buy one of these every month potentially and start doing giveaways. I might just do it once just to start that, but I need to set that up, so feel free to check that out. But this is something you could purchase. Now obviously you're gonna have to wait till it shows up in the mail, so we're going to continue on an adventure of pay to win and move on to the digital store. And in the digital store, I recommend whenever possible to buy your cards and your stuff from the digital store. And here's why. If I buy from the digital store, they just tack on free gems and free tickets. It took me 2 minutes to open this up in Chrome. And instead of just like buying it from here, all this stuff and much more is on their digital store, and you'll be floored with the value. Okay, I just made that up and it was terrible. I'm sorry, but for real, if you're buying stuff from Eternal, buy it here. You can buy gems here. Once you get to the small price of $35 with a small investment from your elders or whoever, you get free drafts. So if you're into drafts, and you're into free drafts, this is the way to acquire free drafts. And they've got the starter bundle on here. This gives you like 500 gems, 10 packs, some theme decks. Really cool. And then bundles for each of the current sets. So, I would recommend, if you've got $10 set aside and you think this game might be for you, at least pick up this starter bundle, or any of these bundles honestly wouldn't be a terrible option. Or, come in here and buy some gems. And if you do that and you buy it, like if you are going to spend money, buy it through here. So anyway, let's go back into the game. We're going back to Eternal now. And okay, we're in the store. Next thing worth touching on, theme decks. So these are decks that the Direwolf Digital Squad, the fam, so to speak, has put together. And you can click this eyeball and look at the deck. And they'll come with a legendary and a few rares, or just depending on the price, they'll have different stuff. So once you've decided what deck you like and want to start building, this is probably the next step I'd go to. We're not here yet. We're just trying to like win a game. But you could start here and pick one of these decks and just try and like flesh it out, and it wouldn't be a bad start for you. I'm going to show a different path, a truer path, more of a Roshi path. We're going to build a meta Grenadine deck. So I think first off, what was I doing here? Yeah, we're gonna ignore this for now. So over here, what I've got is this is a Grenadine list, and I believe this one, yes. So this is what I thought it was. I made a list that only has commons and uncommons. As you can see, I haven't crafted any of these cards yet. I don't have them on this account. These 4 Granite Waystones, you can opt out of these. It's not as important. You could just play Sigils instead, but they're common, so whatever. we can include those. And then everything else is uncommon and common. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this deck a little bit. We're playing Grenadines and like really early aggression. Our goal here is to just jam stuff on the board. We're trying to dump our hand as quickly as possible, put as many minions into play, and start attacking. Very simple, very straightforward. And it's a deck, too, where you can kind of grow into this deck as well. Because you'll find out that there's better lines. And so, like, aggro kind of has, like, a lower ceiling. But to play this deck and truly master it, it's going to take some time. But for the intents and purposes of this video, it's not going to matter. Or, like, for the intents and purposes of this guide, it's not going to matter. So, we're gonna craft this, and we're gonna hop in, and we're gonna play through our first gauntlet, and it's gonna be great. Hey, Marvin, thank you so much for the raid.
I like turtles.
We are going through the new player experience in incognito mode. So let's shout out Marvin, go check him out, and we're going to create the unknown cards. As you can see, this costs 4K. We've got double, so we're going to go ahead and buy this. And later on, we're going to come back to this, and I'm going to show how to upgrade this and take it one step further. But for now, we are on step 1, and we're going to play our first gauntlet, and hopefully we win. A worthy choice, indeed. So when we go into Gauntlet, it's going to match us up against random AI. And whether or not I win or lose, we're going to just play this out and see what happens. But one of the things I'm looking for when I get a hand is I want some 1-drops that I can play and some stuff that I can do later. So we've got a few torches, which I can use to like clear our opponent's stuff or shoot our opponent in the face. And when you want to do that will depend. I'm not going to get into that nuance yet. But we've got a 1-drop. We can't play this 2-drop on 2, but since we've got a 1-drop, we're just going to keep this. That's kind of a good prerequisite to keep a hand when we're playing aggro. And so they've got 1/1s. We're going to go ahead and we drew Ticking Grenadine, and since they've got a 1/1 in play and this can power up later, and I'll explain how that works in a minute. We're going to play Ticking Grenadine, and it'll become clear why later. We're not going to block here. This deck is not focused on blocking. we're going to do some attacking. And alright, cool. So we have a few options here. What I'm going to do is they played a blocker, and I want to start attacking, so I'm going to use Torch to clear this blocker. And we're going to attack. And now we can use Onslaught, and our guy, well, my girl, I guess there's a girl and a guy, whatever. They get bigger. My they.
Always bring a knife to a gunfight.
Cool. So we drew the extra power we needed. They've got crap in the way, so once again, we're going to be just clearing this blocker. And we're going to attack. We're just getting some damage in. They chose not to block, which is nice, so now we're going to play this guy. Kind of, you'll see me doing this. As a general rule of thumb, this isn't a hard and fast rule. We want to play our removal to clear blockers, or play anything that matters on combat in the first turn, in the first phase. Then we'll attack. And then we'll like play our extra power or play our extra minions. So in that order, the reason we do that is we get the maximum amount of time, like the maximum amount of information. Maybe they play something during our combat, or they react, and maybe that might change how we want to play. So that changes things. So they played a relic weapon. This is actually really cool. It's got 1 armor. I can use this sear to blow that armor off and actually defend my guy and hit them for 2 extra damage. So we're going to go ahead and do that. we're gonna attack too. It's almost like I pre-recorded this. And as you can see, they're at 4 life, so if we play this power, let's take a look at Flame Blast. Deal 1 damage, and then spend the rest of your power to deal that much damage. Basically, to do the math for this, look how much power you have, and it's gonna deal 4 damage. And we won. So, we won our first game. Very good. And we'll just keep going. And it'll get progressively harder as we go through, but hopefully, with our power of fire and grenadines, we can light the torch and start the Olympics. So once again, we've got 1-drops and some stuff to do, so we're gonna keep this hand. Definitely a keeper here. And since this guy gets buffed, we have a few options here. We can actually buff it by playing Fury Blade, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to go Fury Blade here. Our goal is to just do the maximum amount of damage. They don't have any units in play, so this is 2 damage, and that's what we're going to do. Don't worry too much about the nuance of these plays, but I just want to explain why I'm doing it, and if it's going over your head, don't worry about it for now. So now we're actually not able to trigger Onslaught because of the way I did things. So that just kind of shows how sometimes you can get punished a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. We're still just gonna play our guys out, and yeah, we'll kind of hang back on this weapon and not use it for now. And if I block with this guy, it'll actually deal 3 damage to them, and we get to keep our weapon. So I'm going to do that. Alright, cool. So now we're kind of able to recover from getting trolled by this Scaligron. We're going to use our weapon to clear this blocker. And now we get to attack with our guy. So we have 2 options here. We can play Volatile Grenadine or play Overheating Minibot. I like to get this in play as early as possible, so we're going to do that. It has Reckless, so we're forced to attack with this every turn. And what that means is you have to... you can only block with it the first turn you play it, and if they play a minion that kind of outclasses this, it's kind of... it's bad for your health. Yellow Hands, thank you for the follow. And I missed a few follows. Hakone CH, thank you for the follow. So here we are we're on offense, and they've got this like 1-4 dude in our way and these 3-2s. Kind of rough, but we're gonna attack with our guy. And they'll probably block and we'll trade with something, but that's fine. So we'll just attack first here. They're kind of walling us off, but hopefully we can win out. So I get to decide which order we deal damage, and this will actually matter here. I'm going to deal the damage first to the Spore Folk to kill it, and then 1 damage to the Garon. And what that does is now it's got 3 damage, or 3 health, and we can kill it. And now we're free to continue attacking. We'll go ahead and play our guy. And they opted to take 4 damage, which is cool. Hey, JZ Mag. So, yeah, we'll just continue on with the new player experience. So, I could clear this Spore Folk out with a Flame Blast. And there's ups and downs, so if I wanted to clear this, it would represent potentially hitting more often with our minions, but I'd lose 4 damage. So we have to decide which we care about more. I'm just going to arbitrarily clear this minion. I think I might need some more damage from our minions before we switch to just trying to burn their face. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So I drew this. This is the first time we're seeing this card. We can use it to buff our guys. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. And you'll see how this card works. So yeah, we'll play Fire Conjuring. And we're going to Decimate here. And I probably shouldn't have went through that quickly. Feel free to pause it and rewind. But it gives me the option to slide to the right. And I can Decimate and remove a power, or I can slide to the left, and that lets me not Decimate. And what Decimating does is we get to just get a random card. Unfortunately, these are all really expensive, and we might not get the chance to play them. But let's go ahead, we'll just pick whatever we want here. We're going to take this guy. If the game lasts long enough, we get here. This will be cool. And we're just going to end our turn. And what happened was our guy got bigger and was big enough to trade with their blocker, which was cool. Alright, so I don't really want to attack into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Disassembler here. And we're going to use Flame Blast to clear this out of the way. So remember that Flame Blast will use whatever power you have left over. So since I played Disassembler first, I was able to make room. And it could have been incorrect to do that, but that's fine. Hopefully it looks like they're just not going to do anything and we're going to kill them here, so might not have mattered. Hey Trebor, how's it going? So they stun their guy, which means we won't get access to him for a few turns. We'll just keep playing our power, and looks like they didn't play anything, so we get this win here. We'll scoop it up. And we'll keep going through this. Alright. So, I didn't talk through this hand, but we've got 1 drops, we've got 2 drops, we've got to keep. So, we're going to go ahead and play our guy, and send it back to our opponent.
It's written right here.
Here's where it kind of gets interesting. So, because we're on the draw, we're not able to start attacking with this. So now we have to decide if we'd rather play minions or try and clear blockers out of the way. And at this stage in the game, I prefer to just put more pressure on the board, because then when we do clear blockers, that'll represent more damage.
It's written right here.
More annoying blockers. They're actually able to use both of these guys to trade with our overheating minibot. Not ideal, but I think we just accept that, and we have 2 options here. We could play Fury Blade and play Torch and clear the way, or we can just let this guy die and then play another one. I think I'm going to attack first and see what the bot does. Okay, so they've made what I would like to call questionable blocks. We can actually use our pump spell and clear both of these blockers out of the way and get some more damage through. So that's what we're going to do. And now our guy's able to continue attacking, and we're happy with that. All these temple scribes, huh? Kind of frustrating for us, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and attack with our minibot. It'll trade, but that's fine. Oh, I guess not. Then we'll play another minibot. And see what they're up to. We drew power here, which is cool. So what I'm going to do, I have a few options here. I can just attack with my guy, and it'll probably die. I could sacrifice it to gain power, but I don't really want to do that either. So we're going to just attack. It's going to trade with their guy, and then we're going to be able to play this assembly line. So that's okay. We don't always need to get max value out of our cards. We'll just try and get on board and set up some good big damage turns here. Alright, cool. So we got our Waystone. We're able to get a dude from it. What I'm going to do here is I'm kind of incentivized to clear some blockers out of the way so that my Fire Conjurings can do more damage. So that's what we're going to do. We'll play our Fury Blade for that. And attack. Okay, so I was originally thinking about playing this Conjuring, but based on how they blocked and them playing stun effects, we're not going to do that. We're just going to let this happen, and we'll wait till they can get us more damage later. Because our opponent's playing life gain, so we're going to need to make all of our cards kind of do the max amount of damage they can here. Cool, so they didn't play anything. We're going to attack. Once again, didn't play anything. I'm going to play Fire Conjuring and Decimate here. I just want more cards. And this will deal... It'll represent 6 extra damage for us, which is cool. Flash Fire will be the most likely card we're actually able to play, so we'll take that. This is a card that actually could have made it into this deck anyway. I didn't choose to run it, but you know, if you want to get a little spicy and go down your own path, that could be a good way to do it. So we're going to just continue attacking. 2 options here. We can play Relentless Pursuit, or we could invoke and play another Conjuring. I'm actually just going to play Pursuit. I don't really want to use this Decimate again so soon. I'm trying to avoid... Since we have this Flash Fire, we're kind of incentivized to get to 5 power. Our opponent's getting kind of low, though, so we're going to go ahead and take this time to torch them in the face. And we're hoping to next turn just kill them with Flame Blast. And cool, so we got a power, we can Flame Blast them for 4, and that's all she wrote for that game. Alright, so another decent hand. We've got 1 drops, we've got 2 drops. We can't play him on 2, but that's fine. We'll keep this. Make sure you're staying hydrated while you play these games.
Peace is its own reward.
Since this has Aegis, we can't target it unless we want to target it twice. So we'll let our guy potentially trade with it or not. But for now, I'm just going to ignore this. I can use my Seer at any time, so if they play a blocker on their turn, I could potentially Seer it if I want to. But they didn't play anything, so we'll just hang on to it. And I'll go ahead and attack. And if we play a power, we can go ahead and play our volatile guy, so we'll do that.
Order! Order!
Alright. So, this will give us a dude, so we're going to do that. It's looking like they're going to be trying and spamming us with high defense blockers. I'm going to go ahead and attack. And they've chosen to block with this guy, so we'll let this happen. So now he's got 5 damage on him, so I can decide if I want to remove him. And I think we do go ahead and do that. And then we'll play our Grenadine and end our turn here. Okay, I'm going to play a Sigil, and I can actually clear this blocker with Seer, so that's what we'll do. We're out of cards, so just like Yugi, we're believing in the heart of the cards here. But our guys are hitting for damage, and, you know, that's a good place to be. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. They'll be able to attack soon. Another Fire Sigil here. Unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and attack. Play a Sigil and just pass the turn back. So one little neat trick, against the bots it's not as important, but if you're playing against a real person, I don't really have any reason to play this Fire Sigil. If I draw something that, you know, I might want the extra power, I can always just play this at that time. So, right now I'm using this Fire Sigil to basically pretend I have a card that I might not have. They don't know. They don't know that this is a Fire Sigil, so if I just sit on it, maybe they'll think it's something good and play around it, even though it's clearly not. It's a small little edge, a small little thing, but I just wanted to explain why I didn't play this last Sigil. And we go ahead and get this win here. Cool. So this hand, similar to before, we do have a 1-drop, but we don't have anything to follow it up with but Burn. So we're going to redraw this. And when we redraw our hand, it's crazy this is the first time this has happened. It's going to give us a minimum of 2 power. So if you were playing the ranked ladder, it would, if we were playing in the ladder, it would give us the option to go down to 6 cards instead. But in Gauntlet and in Forge, it doesn't let you do that. So just keep in mind that there is other options that you'll get to later, but we don't have them now. This hand's a little sketchy, but thanks to our top decks, it's kind of working out for us. So we'll start attacking. And with these Onslaught guys, when possible, we want to attack first before we play them. Now, playing an Onslaught guy over playing nothing is important, so that's why I played one on the first turn. But just keep that in mind. So they played a blocker. We're just going to clear it and keep attacking. Yeah, I am here to watch TV. This deck's super efficient. So we'll go ahead and play a Sigil here. This guy's really annoying. It's got a ton of health, and we don't really have a good way to break through here. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to play Assembly Line, and we're not going to attack this turn. I'm going to kind of wait until Fire Conjuring can maybe clear him out of the way.
Peace is its own reward.
And like I said before, we're not really a deck that wants to block all that much. They did buff this, so that's kind of a struggle. One cool thing I didn't touch on yet, but This can help you win games you might not be able to win otherwise. Disassembler means when our Grenadine die, they deal 1 damage to the opponent. And this stacks. So with these 2 disassemblers, I can actually cheese out a win here. So even though I can't really attack efficiently, I'm going to end my turn. And even if they attack, we're still going to be able to do damage to them. So they didn't do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and play another disassembler. And this torch, it's going straight at their face.
Who says you can't play with fire?
Alright, so each unit I block with is going to represent 2 damage to their face. So we're going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's 2 options here. I can just take this, or I can try and trade with this guy. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Either way, I think we win. I'm going to go ahead and let this damage just go through and show you the other option. So just so you can see the multiple sides. But I think we're going to win this one pretty much regardless. But we'll go ahead and play this. And we're going to just attack with everything here. Everything's getting in, and should represent a good bit of damage here. They opted not to block. We're going to play our Conjuring, and we will decimate it. Usually that's the option I like to pick. I like the extra cards, but you do what you want to do. So this is the easiest to play, so we're going to take the musket. And just like that, we won the game, so that's cool. Hey, Virus. Yeah, I am on... We are on a fresh account here. The Incognito Mode Eyesore. And we're trying out the new player experience. And we're just going to keep playing.
Reporting in.
Alright, since I don't have a lot going on in my hand, I'm not gonna just blow this. We're gonna just attack here. And if we trade, we trade. We can't really do anything about it. And just be happy to clear that blocker, and hopefully we can... Cool. That sounds great, Virus. I should have made this guide yesterday. Well, maybe I'm glad I didn't, because now it doesn't work. So, I can use these spells to push more damage through, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to attack. So here's interesting. If I play this, it won't actually make our guy big enough to punch through. So I have to decide how many spells I want to invest to punch through this guy. And I think for now, I'm not going to invest anything. Our guy doesn't die. Their guy doesn't die. We'll just move along. And hopefully trying to draw more minions here. Yeah, so we didn't get more minions. Unfortunate. We're going to go ahead. We're going to clear it out of the way. Hopefully we can... And there's more. Alright. Not great, but that's how it goes.
Focus, child.
Hopefully we can punch through eventually. And it's okay if you lose a game. You get a few losses, and we can just play Gauntlet over and over and over again for free. So don't feel super pressured to win these games, because The only thing it's costing you is time. So this is actually pretty good. We kind of need cards here, so we're going to attack. And we'll play this and see what we get. Exhaust one of your units to draw 2 treasure troves. A 3/1 or a 7 drop. I'm going to actually take this plunder here. And we're going to pump our guy and clear this blocker out of the way for good.
The path has been set before you.
That's a little scary. So let's go ahead and if we attack here, we'll actually have just enough power to maybe clear this as Zindel if they try to block. So we'll see what they decide to do. So they did. We'll fight, and then we're going to clear this as Zindel out of the way. And then we can actually play this Ticking Grenadine and plunder it. That'll give us some gas.
The path has been set before you.
So what that this fire conjuring lets us do is get access to cards and options that you wouldn't usually have. So it gives you some interesting choices more so than just, you know, playing Grenadine and attacking, basically. So it's kind of nice to have the options. So we drew only power here. One of the cool things we can do in the future is we can replace some of these power with lands that can like transform or do other cool things. But as a new player, you might not be able to afford some of those lands, so we opted out of doing that. But just keep in mind that it doesn't always look like this. Our opponent is putting actually no pressure on us, so that's good for us. And attacking doesn't do much here, so we're gonna just end our turn. So now we can attack and at the very least kill his friendly wisp, so that's what we'll do. And this Ticking Grenadine will actually represent us starting to do damage. Once again, I'm just gonna hold on to the sigil. Maybe the bot or the player you're playing against will think it's something great and awesome and you're just holding it, but in reality it's not. And they did play a blocker that trades with our guys, but we drew Disassembler. And we really don't mind having our guys die, so we're gonna attack. We're just trying to get damage through before our opponent does something scary. Another option I could have made there is just attacking with the 2/2s. And I think that's what we'll do here. Actually, we'll just attack with everything. Cool, so this is good for us. I'm gonna play it during combat, but you could always play it on your first turn. You could always play it right away and try and get a card immediately, but I usually like to play it as a surprise. So we're gonna do it now, or do it in combat. So now we just decide which card might do the most work here. I think this Ringleader is pretty good, so we're gonna take this. It gives us an extra guy and a cool ability we can do, so we'll do that. Alright, so one of the things we can do here is we can twist this guy. And this will make it so that all of our guys, with the very minimum, trade with our opponent's stuff in combat. And that's pretty good. And I'm actually going to twist again. We'll go ahead and twist onto, yeah, I guess this guy. And that'll just represent more damage. And we were able to take this win. The game seemed kind of sketchy, and we drew a lot of power, but we still won anyway, so never give up. Well, unless you want to, then feel free. And we're going into our last game, and this is where it gets kind of tricky. In your last game of a Gauntlet, the boss will give some sort of group superpower. So here it is. This is going to be random, so we can't control this. Certain decks you build will not do as well with the power, and some will do great. This one is players can play an extra power card during each turn. Now our deck doesn't mind this as much, but I think in general we'd prefer not to have that effect. There's other effects that help us more, but I think we should still be fine. We'll keep this. I'm just going to play double Grenadine Drone here.
Who's out there?
We'll attack first. Now that we've attacked, this guy gets bigger. And, yeah, we've successfully dumped our hand. And now we're just playing off the top of our deck, but that's okay. We'll attack. This is a great draw here. I'm going to play my power just because I might be able to make use of it, and we'll attack here. Now we decide what we want. I think Tattoo Dragon's probably pretty good here. Yes and yes, I am here. We're knocking our opponent to 1 here. I'm gonna go ahead and play this dragon.
Form up.
And this should kill our opponent, so we'll just go ahead and take the win. And just like that, we won our first draft. Or I'm sorry, we won our first Gauntlet, and now we get to hop into Forge. But I think, at least for this section, this is a good stopping point to take a break. And, cool. It actually gave us a theme deck, so we can check that out, but see if you like it. But for now, let's just claim our rewards. And each time you rank up in Gauntlet, you get a rank up reward. And the rank up reward is super solid. It gives you a pack, and then you also get these 2 silver chests as well, which is great for building your collection. And you'll get this rank up reward all the way up to Master. So once you hit Master in Gauntlet, you won't get the reward anymore. But keep in mind, this is going to get harder each time you do it. So if we do another Gauntlet, it's going to be harder than this first time, where the bots didn't really put up much of a fight. So just keep that in mind. And whenever I get a chance, I'll make part 2 of this guide. And we'll continue on into our first forge and into the ladder. Thanks for watching. Roshi is here. In the next video, we're going to be taking a look at the new player's first forge. So after you complete your first gauntlet, you get a quest to do your first forge. The next video will go through that and hopefully be a good continuation of this video for any new players out there. I think it's a good watch. I'll explain some of the forge mechanics and how to go about winning your first forge. Thanks for watching.